Hello, darling. Welcome back. Today we are checking out some more Internet Historian. This is the cost of Concordia. I've been really looking forward to this video. It's taken me a little bit to get around to it, but I'm very, very excited, and I hope you are as well. If you are new here, please do consider subscribing. It would really help me out, and I would very, 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 very much appreciate it. Thank you. Are you ready? Let's go! Let go.
The Costa Concordia, ship of dreams. It's been 8 years. I can still smell the buffets from their 5 restaurants. The casino and 3-story theater had hardly been used. The gym, the day spa, the sheets in her 1,500 luxurious cabins hadn't even been slept in. Costa Concordia cost $570 million to build. And you could tell. You could really tell.
Oh. Real talk, I've never been on a cruise, and I really, really want to, because I'm the type of person, if I go on vacation, I want like everything where I am. I'm one of those people. I don't like going on vacation and then having to like explore my vacation. I like it. I like it a lot.
I remember it like it was just a few years ago. We had left Civitavecchia, a port in Rome, and we were making our way to Savona. It was day 2 of our 7-day journey. But that ship, she was cursed.
Oh my god.
What?
When she premiered, the traditional bottle of champagne bounced right off the side instead of smashing.
Oh.
A bad omen. But I'm not the superstitious type.
Nothing could go wrong on Friday the 13th.
Oh no.
2012.
On the 100th year anniversary of the Titanic, on a
Dude, this has bad news written all over it.
ship that's also only safety rated for 2-compartment flooding. Especially not when you have a 5-star max-level captain like Francisco Scatino. A man who mysteriously rose from head of security to the position of captain within just a couple of years.
He knows exactly what to do in case of an emergency.
For
For
sure.
example, when he caused this emergency in 2008, when he crashed into a port in Sicily. And in 2010, in Warnemünde, Germany, when he was steering a different ship and came into port too fast and caused another collision. I've got a good feeling about this.
How did he keep his job?
So let's set the scene. It's a beautiful evening. People are having fun on the slides, drinks at the bar. Antonio Magnotta is playing piano at the restaurant. Martin the magician is setting up for his show.
Woo! Let's go,
And
Martin.
the ship is setting up for a little detour. It's called a sail-by salute. Basically, you get real close to the shore and honk the horn. The locals hate it, but the customers love it, and it's a tradition. Scatino, the captain, comes into the dining hall with a lady, Dominica Samorton. Remember this face because you'll be seeing a lot of it later. Scatino eats his dinner with her and socializes for a little while. Then he, Dominica, and the maitre d' finish up and excuse themselves. They're heading to the bridge. It's time for that sail-by salute. This time, they're going to get closer than ever. Just 1,500 feet from the island of Giglio. And how are they going to determine this distance? Well, of course, the captain is going to eyeball it. Apparently it's not an
The captain that's already crashed twice? That captain?
uncommon thing to do. Scatino turns to the fella steering, his helmsman, Jacob Ruslibin. First interesting tidbit. Costa Crociere has hired Jacob from Indonesia at a rock-bottom price, and he's a bit of a newbie to the job. In fact, his profession hitherto, a painter and a cleaner. It's his first time steering a massive ship, and he's very excited. At least, we think he is. It's hard to tell because he doesn't speak English or Italian very well at all. Off to a good start. The second in command orders the helmsman to 290. Now, don't be confused by these numbers, they're just the degrees on a compass. At the same time, the captain whips out his cell phone and calls former captain Mario Palombo, who lives on the island. They chat about the safe distance to Giglio's shores. It's all very casual.
Okay.
Anyway, Mario says that the safe distance is between 0.3 and 0.4 miles from shore. The captain is going all in. This is not his first sail-by salute, so he's confident in what he's doing. We're going closer than we've ever been before.
Oh no.
The captain's eyeballing it again. New heading of 300, he tells the helmsman. Downstairs, Martin is about to cut his assistant in half. And of course, that means that there's already a lady inside this box. She's waiting for the cue, and then she'll poke her legs out. The captain is giving more orders. Pulling gently to 310. Increase speed to 16 knots. Going this fast is going to be a fatal error. But before we talk about that, let's talk about another big problem.
This is me doing the hand to Storm. This is me sassing Storm right here. This is what this is what our conversations are like every time I ask for more art. Just this and his face.
But before we talk about
that is his face.
let's talk about another big problem. Language barrier. Because at this point, the captain says 325, but the helmsman relays 315. So the first officer intervenes, and he goes, no, 335, which is also wrong. And then the captain clarifies, no, 325. The helmsman confirms 325. Their poor communication has them moving at a much wider angle than they think they are. However, the captain should and would know this, except for the next problem, complacency about procedure.
Okay.
The standard procedure of a ship this large is for the third officer to give exact positional coordinates every time the captain gives a new directional order. But they're not doing that. 330, he says. The helmsman relays 330. The ship reaches 16 knots. The captain then turns to the second officer and instructs him to go to the left wing. That's these things here, and they basically exist so you can get a better view over the whole vessel.
Okay.
A few seconds pass, and then the mood starts to turn. Scatino notices white foam and waves breaking against the rocks directly in front of him in the distance. The Costa Concordia, right now, is almost 700 meters closer to the rocks than it should be. Without deviation,
my God.
there is going to be a direct collision.
Oh, shit!
Scatino immediately commands the ship to start turning away. 335. Not enough. The captain shouts, 340. The captain yells, 350. Now, remember how I said that accelerating to 16 knots was a fatal error? Well, that's because it's made this ship incapable of such a drastic turn. What they've got is understeer. Here's an example.
The front end is not working. You're turning, and you're just going straight. You want to go over here, but you're going to end up over here.
So despite the order of 350, right now the bow is still only pointing at 327. Not nearly enough to miss the rock. And oh no, it's about to get worse. That language barrier again. In these critical moments where every second counts, the helmsman wrongly relays 340. The captain snaps back, 350 starboard or we end up on the rocks. The third officer goes to assist the helmsman. Now, don't get confused by the orders from here. We're changing over to rudder instructions. The captain yells, starboard 10, starboard 20, and still it's not enough. Hard to starboard. That means as hard as it'll go. But at this point, even if they clear these rocks, they need to get the rest of the ship to swing around it. So the captain yells, midship, which centers the rudder. The bow is now less than 150 meters from Skull Rock. Port 10. But the helmsman only gets to port 5 before another order is given 2 seconds later. Port 20. They might just avoid disaster here, maybe. But then, oh no. One more time, the helmsman cocks up at the worst possible moment. The helmsman goes to starboard instead of port, undoing the swing. 8 seconds later, he realizes the error and corrects, but it's too late. He has just turned a probable near miss into a sure hit. All they can do now is hold on as the bow of the ship narrowly passes by the rocks.
Ooh.
Hard to port. The second officer yells, "We're gonna hit!"
And
Collision.
oh. Oh my god! I bet you're wondering how I ended up here. Oh my god. Oh no. The pasta. Oh no.
Downtown, Nordtown.
Mm.
It's day 56 of playing Russian roulette. Seems I never win.
Gonna drink all by yourself?
Somebody has to.
I hear you're a man who's good at finding folks.
I'm many things.
I'm looking for this fella. I gots to find him. It's breaking my little heart.
I'll see what I can do. I have contacts in thousands of servers in dozens of countries across the globe. And just like that, she was gone. The only thing she left was a calling card. Sometimes when you follow a case, it follows you back. NordVPN can protect my online data. But who can protect me from myself? When they said this job gets easier, it was just another lie. Forensics found his password spread all the way down the block. In a perfect world, we'd all use NordVPN. But I guess this isn't that kind of story. I took the brakes off my car. Man like me never really learned how to stop.
Fuck up.
No, I love this. This is so good. As a fucking sponsorship, I love this. This is so good.
I took the steering wheel out too. I let the road take me where I'm supposed to be. That's right, Toots. Your husband's dead.
Toots?
Merry Christmas.
Oh my
Go to
god.
nordvpn.com/internet historian for a huge discount on a 2-year plan.
The little explosion. That was so
And-
good.
oh. The ship hits rocks on the port side.
Oh shit, we're back! I forgot that we were in the middle of this.
A 53-meter gash opens up in the hull, and thousands of tons of water begin pouring in. A loud scraping and bang is heard by all passengers. At the helm, there's panic. Rumblings in the dining room. Martin awkwardly pauses his act as he's helping his assistant into the box. Meanwhile, the lady inside is trapped and terrified. There's confusion across the ship. All of the crew off shift come back on duty. All officers run to the bridge. Technical crews run down to the lower decks to assess damage. On connection with the rocks, they lose propulsion and slow to 8.3 knots. And they are now adrift.
Okay.
Close the watertight doors at stern. Enormous volumes of water are pouring in. So much so that within 29 seconds of collision, all 6 engines stop working through flooding.
Less than 30 seconds? I mean, I understand because it's such a large gash, but good God.
22 seconds later, a blackout happens.
Oh,
Lights, electrics, the water pumps too. Everything. The captain orders the helmsman hard starboard. This is the final position of the rudder before power to that too is lost. The Costa Concordia, now without power, is drifting starboard, plunged into absolute darkness. A quick breakdown of the flooding. When the Concordia struck land, it tore open 3 watertight compartments. At first, compartment 5, which filled very rapidly. Then 6 more slowly, 4 shortly after. Then 7, 8, and 3. Modern ships are built to withstand 2 compartment breaches. These compartments especially, though, are a problem because they contain the engines and the electrics. These main generators give power to the whole ship. From propulsion motors to rudder to hotel functions, pretty much everything. When they went out, the ship was a functionless, sinking cage.
Ooh.
A few seconds later, the emergency batteries for internal lighting and communications kick on.
Okay.
When the lights come back on, Martin has vanished. He's ditched the stage. And it caused a huge panic in the theatre, as passengers are trying to flee to their cabins and to muster stations. People already in their cabins come out and start putting on life vests. Staff rally and try to calm everyone down. Everything is fine. There's no need for vests. Please return to your cabins.
Fuck
the emergency
no.
generator starts. All of the watertight doors close except for door 12, which is jammed. The captain calls Pilon, the chief engineer, as the ship begins to list on the port side. There's water coming in? Yes, there's water. But where? The engine room. But a lot of water? Yes! There's water, you can't go down. Let's go down the other side. In a moment we'll start the pumps, I'll let you know. In the theatre, the whole magic box apparatus slides right off the stage and falls into the crowd, further increasing panic. On the bridge, an announcement is being prepared. They are going to lie to prevent a panic.
In case of emergency, step 1, lie. Oh, why? I don't doubt that at all. I actually do not doubt that at all.
Let's just say we have a blackout.
Yeah, ignore the fucking tilting of the ship.
The deputy chief engineer enters the engine control room. He confirms to the bridge that at least compartments 5, 6, and 7 are flooded.
Ooh.
Announcements are made.
The captain to inform you that due to an electrical fault, which is currently under control, we're currently in a blackout. Our technicians are working to resolve the situation, and we'll advise.
If this shit's going on and you're telling me there's a fucking blackout, I might go up to the frickin' the whatever the fuck it's called and punch you in the face. Are you kidding? I might be dumb, but I ain't that stupid.
Inform you of developments as they occur. Thank you for your attention.
Coincidentally, at the same time in the restaurant, they're playing My Heart Will Go On, and it's very much not helping the situation.
No, they are not. You're fucking with me. There is not any way in hell. No. Dude. Oh, I so badly want that to be something that someone did. I really, really hope so.
The captain calls the Costa Crisis Unit. Roberto Ferrarini. He tells the crisis unit that they've hit a rock, that they're assessing damages, and that they are also in a blackout. The crisis office says to reverse the ship up onto shore. Well, how are you going to do that? You don't have power to the rudder, let alone the engine. You know, hoist the sails? Anyway, around this time, the wind direction creates a starboard list, and the ship begins to turn anyway, drifting right back towards the shore, which is a very good thing because you want the ship to end up as close to shore as possible.
Okay.
A panicked passenger senses that something is off. This isn't like any electrical problem that she's ever seen. Plus, there was a massive crashing noise and now the ship is tilting. So, she contacts her daughter in Italy. The daughter then calls the police, and the police call the harbour master. While that goes on, a conversation between Pilon and Ambrosio. The diesel is not starting. The captain asks the engine room, but where have we made contact? Thinking that the incoming water can be reduced. Captain, here everything is lost. The electrical panel, everything. They're saying at this point that the ship is going down. The captain calls Roberto Ferrarini again. Actually, 2 compartments have been flooded, but don't worry, the ship's stability isn't in danger. Wrong.
What?
Passengers begin going to muster stations on their own initiative. The cruise director says, "We have a lot of people at muster stations that I do not want to fall overboard. Do we make an announcement to tell them to go to the lounges?" Bozio says, "I think that's best." The harbour master from Livorno calls the ship. The captain tells them that we just have a blackout. How long has this blackout been going on? About 20 minutes. Have you asked passengers to put on life vests? It's just a blackout. I gotta go. The harbour master
What?
is suspicious. He says to his superiors that he thinks something more is going on. He calls a patrol boat to the area and asks them to look at the ship. Another problem. The fan on the emergency diesel generator isn't working properly. Pilon manually has to turn the thing on and off with a screwdriver so that it doesn't overheat and cause a fire.
Whoa,
The captain is on the
okay.
phone to the lower decks, asking pointless questions, like, is it still flooded? Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it is. The captain is essentially in denial of the situation. The harbour master calls again. Finally, he says, the ship is taking on water through an opening in the left side and the ship is listing. He qualifies with, no one dead or injured. The harbour master asks if he needs help. Just a tugboat? When in reality, they need a full rescue. With 3 compartments flooded, the captain finally realizes that things are really bad and they are not going to improve.
Well, duh.
The Coast Guard orders every available ship to the sea. Meanwhile, up with the passengers, the cruise director's assistant says, everything's under control. Please return to your cabins or hang about in the lounges, no problem. She said this despite knowing it was wrong and that it further endangered lives. Most passengers at this point, though, aren't listening to this nonsense, and they're
Thank
busy
God.
figuring out how to abandon ship.
Thank
Bing,
God.
bing, 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 bong. Local television has already picked up the story and they begin broadcasting live radio feed from the bridge.
Oh, no.
Captain, the passengers are going on board the boats. Okay, let them go to shore. So then general emergency? Wait, let me talk to Ferrarini. We risk the emergency generators that do not have cooling. It has cooling problems, 100 degrees. The cooling fan has stopped. Pilon calls the bridge and tells the safety officer they need to evacuate. The safety officer relays this to the captain, but after no response, he orders the engine room to evacuate on his own. The captain says, no, stay.
What?
We're leaving. So what do? General emergency? The captain tells Ferrarini that he's abandoning ship. Abandoned ship! Another announcement is made.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The situation is under control. Please remain calm. And at this time, proceed to your muster station. They're located outside on deck 4.
The Livorno Coast Guard calls again. The captain declares distress. The Coast Guard officially calls for rescue operations. They contact Pietro Mille, the helicopter base commander, who then calls in every available pilot. As he rushes down to the helicopter base, Pilon shuts down the emergency generator for the final time. The first rescue vessel arrives. By this point, the lifeboats are already going.
Okay.
Luckily, the ship is very close to shore. Oh, perhaps too close to shore. The ship forcefully runs aground, creating an uneven center of gravity, and it begins heavily listing starboard. The captain issues a general emergency on board. The announcement to abandon ship is finally called and alarms ring out, and with that comes panic. And now that they're listing, with many of the lifeboats too awkwardly positioned to enter the water, there aren't enough readily available and they have to start going back and forth to the shore, picking people up and dropping them off.
Ooh.
The patrol boats report to the Livorno harbour master that the ship has run aground and is listing heavily. So the harbour master asks the captain about it, and the captain says, no, the ship is still floating.
I'm gonna beat your ass. No, it's fine. We're not completely under the water. Duh. Like, I'm clearly on the phone with you, so things have to be fine.
In fact, we're trying to maneuver it onto the shore.
I'm gonna... Oh my god. Why? Why are you lying? You're not gonna be able to save your ass. Why are you lying?
They know he's lying.
Hold on, I'm reversing it. Beep, 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 beep.
Hold on, let me put her in reverse. Boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, boop. Oh, that's funny. It doesn't seem to want to go in reverse. Let me try again. Boop, 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 boop. Are you kidding? No.
Captain then says to bottom out the starboard anchor. So they drop out the anchors, but let out too much chain, effectively rendering them useless.
Oh my
The
god.
deputy mayor of Giglio, Mario Pellegrini, and tobacco shop owner Giovanni Rossi arrive at the harbour. They watch the scene unfold. As the first of the lifeboats arrive on shore, the deputy mayor takes the initiative and races to board one of the lifeboats, returning to the ship, and starts trying to find someone in charge. He gives up and starts helping passengers.
Nice.
Scatino tells everyone to leave and take radios, but not before changing out of his uniform and into a nice suit.
What?
Priorities. Dimitri Christidis and Sylvia Koronica leave with him. The maitre d' and Sir Morton both get out of there. By this point, approximately 300 people are still on the ship. Millet reaches the helicopter base. The first helicopter, a slow-moving Augusta Bell, was already rising from the tarmac for the hour-long flight south.
Oh,
Bozio
fuck
is the
that.
last crew member left on the bridge, coordinating evacuation. He then leaves to help passengers board lifeboats. The bridge is now abandoned. And then, the ship's black box stops working. Apparently there were technical problems with it. That means, from here, things are going to get a little foggy in detail. A while later, rescue helicopters arrive, but they're struggling to find the ship because they're expecting it to still be well above water. Passengers are scaling down the port side by ladder as lifeboats return to pick them up.
This is no joke. Oh my goodness. It was no joke, mi amor. Yes.
He's not allowed to make a film movie.
I will fucking. I would have wound up in jail. You're telling me something just fucking happened where I could have fucking drowned on your stupid fucking boat, and you have the gall to tell me, passenger? Oh, you're not allowed to record this terrible thing that's happened. I'm punching you in the I'm punching you in the face. I do not condone violence. Don't be violent. Don't do that. I'd wind up in jail. Ain't no way.
I'm allowed.
Who say you are?
A second
Who say me and my fist? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't. Do not. Don't. If this is some stupid PR, like, contain all this negativity and, like, all of this stuff, I'm gonna lay you out. What the fuck do you mean? Oh, you can't record. Pardon me? No.
helicopter,
No.
a faster model, sets off. The ship stops healing and comes to a final resting place. Now the Coast Guard calls the captain because he's just learnt that the captain has abandoned ship. The captain claims, no, actually I slipped and I fell into one of the lifeboats. Ooh, I'm a klutz. But now that I'm on board, I may as well head back to shore. DeFalco tells the captain to get the fuck back on board. And the captain kind of acts confused and then effectively refuses. So the captain makes it to shore. From here, we only have mainstream news reports to rely on, so it's not going to be super accurate. But they say that Giglio's police chief then finds 110 survivors on the rocks at Point Gabbianara. And among them is the captain. It's not known whether the captain helped anyone while he was there, and in fact, the police chief claimed that he just sat on the rocks and watched other people do the rescuing.
Oh my god.
A while later, a rescue boat picks up the captain and takes him to the harbour. He speaks to the police. He then finds the ship's onboard chaplain, Father Rafael Molina, and cries to him for about 15 minutes. Then he goes to the harbour master's office to receive probably the biggest dressing down of his entire life. Port authorities ask the taxi driver to take the captain back to his hotel. The captain takes the 30-second cab ride to the Bahamas hotel. According to the cabbie, he was beaten like a dog. He was cold and afraid. He only asked me where he could buy a pair of fresh socks. But then he perked right up again and gave an interview to a news crew. He told them that he was the last to leave.
How are we halfway through this fucking video? I'm gonna crash out! What do you mean? What do you mean? How are we halfway through this video? I might not be strong enough for this. I might not be strong enough for this.
The captain is usually the last to abandon ship. What happened, Captain?
We were the last to leave the ship.
All day Saturday, rescuers search for people on the ship. On Sunday morning, a South Korean couple is found in their cabin, safe but shivering. They had
Oh my
slipped
god, thank god.
through the crash and woke up unable to exit their cabin.
They slept
Last
through
survivor,
it?
Manrico Giampandroni was found with a broken leg. He was the cabin's service director. In the end, 32 people died. The final body wasn't discovered until nearly 3 years later. A crew member, Russell Rebello, and it's believed that he died a hero helping passengers off the ship. The Costa Concordia was the largest cruise ship disaster since the Titanic.
Oh.
And then there's the ship. This is what happens to a 110,000-ton cruise liner when it's left half rolled over in the ocean.
Ooh. God, that gives me chills.
But this isn't the end. It's just the halfway point. What most people know is that the Costa Concordia had crashed, many dead, and that the captain abandoned ship like a coward. But there's a whole veritable spaghetti of details to untangle. Let's dive in. There they are.
Oh
The
my
deets.
god. Oh no. Oh god!
Loot box time. The Costa Concordia was more than just a floating resort. There's a mall, a casino, cha-ching, cha-ching. This iron chest was full of safes and cash registers and expensive fittings. And there were plenty of gamers prepared to sneak by authorities and try their luck in the hot zone. Within days, police divers reported that valuable items, once seen lying around the ship, were now missing. High-end liquor, expensive furniture, dining sets, cash from the casino, cash registers, jewelry and display cabinets, safes, Japanese woodblock prints by famous 18th century artists, as well as the iconic bell, which hung from the bridge of the ship. It was never found.
Oh.
Who steals a big fuck-off bell? Even the server admins were getting involved. 4 divers who were part of the company contracted to refloat the Concordia were spotted on CCTV, sneaking out to the ship. A patrol boat was dispatched, and the men were caught inside the fancy suites with rucksacks full of stolen goods. The 4 men are charged with stealing and thieving and pinching. Later on, stolen as well as legitimate items found their way to Amazon and eBay. Chips from the casino, postcards, and cabin access cards became highly sought after souvenirs.
It even has a watermark.
Some Australian guy even made a listing for the ship itself, advertising it as buyer to collect.
This is like the people who put a picture of like an iPhone or something, and then they mail you the picture of the iPhone because they put in like tiny little like print that you're buying the like picture instead of the iPhone and stuff. Dude.
And although there were plenty of bidders,
Are you fucking kidding me?
eBay pulled the plug.
Yeah, thank God. Oh! Okay.
I know you want to see Scatino go to jail, and we'll get to that. But first, we have to talk about someone else. Domnica Samorton.
That was a close one.
There was speculation that she was on the bridge that evening because she was the captain's mistress.
Well, yeah. What? That. What else is she doing there?
Intense media speculation reports that her presence distracted the captain.
They both denied their love for years and maintained that they were just friends.
Oh.
Although she did later admit to the media that she found him handsome. And how could you not?
You so fucking precious when you smile.
But she says there is no romantic link between them.
Some people would like to believe, and they want to know I have something with him. It's more interesting. It's like, you know, spicy in the story.
Miss Morton also loved the spotlight, however,
Everyone, oh look!
and took several interviews. But as the pressure mounted upon her, she began making ominous threats to Scatino, saying he must confess, and that you have but 1 week to come clean.
What?
But things from here get weird.
Spicy.
Sir Morton is a bit of a wild card. In a subsequent interview, she claimed a helicopter came to the ship well before the other rescue craft to take away a package. Huh? And what was that package? Drugs, apparently. So rumors began that the ship was running narcotics for the mafia. And not without cause. A number of cruise ships, even recently, have been caught trafficking drugs. As an
Really?
aside, Scatino was tested for drugs immediately after the crash. He tested negative for drugs in his system, but trace amounts of cocaine were found in a hair sample.
Makes it smoother and...
Not Big Ed! Bro! Not Big Ed, but fucking mayonnaise in his hair. Oh my god. Is this why my hair is always so dry? Is this what all the supermodels and the actors and actresses are doing? They're putting a little bit of cocaine in their hair, put a little pep in their step. Really?
less dry.
Nonetheless, the Concordia was searched and no drugs were reportedly ever found. How did we get here? Oh, right, a helicopter.
Okay, listen. Okay, this is not funny. This is not funny. There is someone in that. There is someone in that, and they had to go through this, but this is...
Sir Morton commented on it again the next day, and said, actually, that helicopter was just for the captain as a means of evacuation from the ship. Okay, wait.
What?
So she expected to get some sort of first-class rescue while everyone else was still stuck on the ship? Wait, how did we get here? Oh, right, sex with the captain. Divers were quick to head to the captain's cabin, where they found Miss Sir Morton's lingerie and other articles of clothing, as well as a makeup bag.
Oh, they
The
be
jig
fucking.
was up, but they continued denying it. Sir Morton mostly faded from international attention until she was told to appear before the court to present witness testimony. The judge pressed her to be truthful about their relationship, or she would be held in contempt.
Either tell me the truth or shut up.
So finally,
Amen.
she admitted it.
Yes, I had a sentimental relationship with the captain.
Stop.
But now, stop asking about my private life.
She was indeed the captain's lover.
What is up, Trouble Alert Nation? I'm his wife with VTuber. Oh my god!
She and Scatino had been having an affair for several weeks. She also said that on the night she boarded, she didn't have a ticket.
Ticket, please.
And didn't need to pay, because nobody questions you when you're the captain's lover.
Oh my days.
Naturally, she gave another confusing interview after leaving court.
I want to say that today is the second time I die, because the first time I died in the night of the crash with my psychological brain and problems. And today I...
Yeah, you definitely got some... I need to calm down. Oh, I need to calm down.
I died the second time because, of course, people find out something that I try to hide.
Subsequent to the trial, she used her fame in Moldova to become a political activist, often appearing on television and radio and in articles covering protests, accompanied by pictures of her being arrested by police.
Oh, don't fight the police. Uh-oh. Time to hog tire.
It was some stuff about victims of violence, women's rights,
Girl power.
yada yada yada, and interestingly, part of a push to block the sale of shares of Moldova's train network to Russia.
Sure.
Huh?
Other than that, I don't really know what she's been up to. Let me just check on her Oh god, not again.
Oh! Ooh!
Several civil suits were quickly lodged against Costa
Is this Robot Chicken? This has to be Robot Chicken. They're the only show I know to do like stop motion with dolls. It is? Okay.
Crochet. And their parent company, Carnival Cruises, immediately saw a share drop of 23%.
Dump it.
Passengers sought compensation for their damaged mental health, lost belongings, and loved ones.
Either they allowed him to divert from his course, or they didn't know where their billion-dollar ship was.
Within a few days, facing financial and media pressure, the CEO attempted to join the bandwagon against the captain and the crew.
That was not the ordinary route that the ship was taking at the time, and was not only taking, but the time the ship was...
Claiming that the ship was not approved to deviate from the route. But that wasn't true. Approval isn't required if the ship is deviating by less than 15 miles, or that it was against company rules. Also untrue, because investigators found that they didn't have any rules about deviating route, and they tacitly encouraged sail-by salutes.
Oh, so they allowed it and encouraged it, but the more safe. So because he went and done fucked it up, now they want to be like, oh, actually, you're not supposed to do that. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's typical of like a company trying to backpedal and not take blame for it.
Now, in response to the civil suits, Costa Crociere offered passengers 11,000 euros each as compensation.
Fuck no.
That's kind of small.
11,000 euros, about $14,000, is the minimum compensation
Ain't no
under
fucking
international
way.
law when a ship is abandoned.
This was to reimburse them for their tickets, as well as any costs they accrued in having to unexpectedly travel home early.
And that was supposed to release them from everything and anything that has to do with this accident. I cannot ask for more than this.
A lot of passengers, understandably, were not too happy with this deal, and they refused to take the money.
We think the offer is an insult. For
Yeah.
what these poor passengers went through, we think that the compensation being offered is not commensurate.
Take it.
Compensation being offered is not commensurate.
Later, Costa Crociere would lodge a plea deal with the Tuscany court to pay a €1 million fine to avoid a criminal trial. The judge agrees. Costa Crociere is now off the hook for all criminal liability for the whole thing. They've washed their hands of the incident and flecked the residual droplets of responsibility onto the faces of 6 staff members. Passengers and relatives of the dead are livid that the company has been able to avoid criminal responsibility.
Offered is not commensurate.
Civil suit.
That unfortunately also tracks. Like, putting the blame on the workers, and I'm not saying that the captain doesn't deserve to be very much pursued, but that tracks in the company themselves getting away with shit. That blows. That's awful.
Against the company continue. By the way,
disgusting.
the residents of the island of Giglio also banded together and sought damages. They didn't get much. Eventually, passengers who refused the initial compensation of 11,000 joined civil parties against Scatino in his trial in 2015.
Is not commensurate.
They were awarded 30,000 euros each. Other cases, especially those involving lost relatives, are settled for undisclosed amounts.
Oh my god.
New York attorney Peter Renee traveled to Budapest to represent 6 real survivors of the disaster.
At Ronay & Ronay, we personally work on every case.
And we'll work harder than anyone to get you the most money possible in the shortest amount of time.
And while on the job, a 7th case cropped up via email. An elderly woman, a loner, said,
"Help me, Mr. Ronai, for I have lost my daughter, Eva, and my 5-year-old granddaughter, Roxana."
So Mr. Renai agreed to speak with her. However, there were some inconsistencies in her story. Neither Eva nor Roxana were on the passenger list. Odd, but Costa is known for having stowaways. Still, Mr. Renai was suspicious. They wouldn't cheaty old Petey, would they? Renai
Well, they
inquired
would.
further about why she was on board, especially without a ticket. Ilona said,
Well, I don't know, but you should ask her boyfriend.
Zolt Horvath.
He'll know all the details.
Huh?
I'm up all night. I'm going crazy, he said. But Mr. Renai was still suspicious. Because then she asked, how much money do you think this is worth?
That... I don't think I have words for how disgusting that is. That's insane.
This is a huge red flag, Petey. In 20 years of doing this, you've never had anyone ask about money. Why now? So Mr. Renai hired an investigator and sent photos around of the missing girl. The next day, the phone rang. Oh, hoi hoi. It was the boyfriend again. Look, there's been a bit of a misunderstanding and the child isn't missing at all.
Huh?
And then he claimed he was confused because he had done too many drugs the night before.
Oh my lord.
Okay, can I speak to the daughter then? At first, he was refused. So Renai said that he'd have to file a missing persons report to the police if he couldn't. The boyfriend relented. That night, Renai met with Zolt and brought the police with him. He speaks to the granddaughter and asks her if she's seen Mum. Yeah, I saw her today. Oh, really? Yeah, we went to the park today and we went on the swings. Oh no, the jig was up. So the mum walks into the room sheepishly. It's a miracle! And the story changed again. Okay, I'm not dead, but I did injure my leg when I jumped from the ship. And then I immediately flew back to Budapest. Although don't worry about checking my leg because there are no visible marks or injuries. Old Petey, I'm beginning to think they weren't even on the boat. Also, it turns out this lady isn't her mum, it's just a neighbor. Eventually, Renee managed to make the pair confess. And then they said, hey, we haven't done anything wrong. We haven't taken any money. And in the end, it looks like there'll be no criminal punishment for the scam, because Hungary, a former communist country, has no laws against insurance fraud on the books.
The one that never sleeps, call 1-800-6647.
Oh no, not again, not again, not again! Oh!
Mario, would you teach me some Italian?
Oh, of course.
Get back on board for fuck's sake.
Okay, thanks.
Gregorio De Falco, the naval officer who shouted at Scatino to Vada a bordo caso, became a bit of a national hero overnight in Italy. He, like the rest of the world, expected Scatino to go down with the ship. And when the captain chickened out, De Falco was there to admonish him. And when he stopped answering the radio, he called him on his cell phone to continue putting him on blast. When the captain first reported just a blackout, De Falco didn't believe the story and immediately began preparing a rescue effort, which likely saved several lives. His actions were applauded by most Italians who were tired of their public servants being corrupt and avoiding responsibility. Accordingly, shirts sporting Vada a bordo caso were being printed by the end of the week. I was setting it as their phone ringtone. But then, in September 2014, without warning, De Falco was transferred to an admin role in the Coast Guard.
What?
What I said, he'd been demoted.
De Falco said that he had been passed up for promotion, that he had also not been told which admin office he was even being transferred to, and that it all effectively cancelled 10 years of his career. De Falco was tres furioso, and there was public speculation that it was owing to bad blood between himself and Admiral Delano, his former boss. His status among the public overshadowed his superior in many ways.
Get
On the other hand, his boss said, no, it's part of a normal career progression for naval officers and that he must show more maturity and professionalism to advance his career. Now, it's hard.
Oh, get bent! What the fuck?
Hard to know what's true in office politics, so let's leave that alone. And anyway, in 2018, DeFalco said buenas noches, ya later, to the Italian Navy to become a politician. In March that year, he was elected to the Italian Senate, serving as a member for Livorno. He still serves there today.
Oh! Oh my god. Bonk. Ooh.
The day after the disaster, Schettino was taken into custody by police and underwent questioning. However, it was clear that this would not be a straightforward investigation. So the judge released him under house arrest at his home in Sorrento, a town in Napoli. By July of that year, the house arrest was relaxed and he was allowed within this general area. While under house arrest, he wrote a book with this journalist.
Oh my god, why is it always the book?
From Rai magazine. I have no idea what it says, I don't speak Italian. But goddammit, he must have some kind of charisma going on, because there's been a lot of speculation in the press that he had an affair with her as well.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Hold on, I got it. Not content with abandoning his ship, this dude is determined to abandon his wife as well.
No! What the hell?
Schettino and 5 others are facing criminal charges. Straight away, everyone lodges a plea bargain with the court. And all of those plea bargains are accepted, except for Schettino's. And the condition of everyone's reduced sentences are that they must provide witness testimony against Schettino.
He touched me.
Ciro, Jacob, and Silvia were all given suspended sentences. Roberto and Manrico are able to opt for community service or house arrest. Not a bad deal.
A good deal. Good deal.
And that meant that Schettino was now all on his own. Ciro, the first officer, was the first to give his testimony. On the witness stand, he claimed that Schettino was distracted by his mistress and other guests on the bridge. That there was confusion over who was in command. Then it was Jacob's turn. And he said, Lamau XD, because he didn't actually bother with his testimony or his reduced sentence. He just fled the country. It took authorities 12 months to eventually track him down on the outskirts of Jakarta. And when they said, oi, we still want that witness testimony, he just scalped again. And he hasn't been found since. After that,
Slippery little snake
gave his testimony, then look, we don't have time to relitigate the whole trial, so let's just go straight to the verdict. Guilty!
Nice!
Schettino was found guilty of multiple manslaughter, causing a shipwreck, abandoning ship, and lying to authorities.
Good.
He is sentenced to 16 years and 1 month in prison.
Good.
But wait, there's still the appeals. The appeals trial begins. And the verdict on the appeal?
Rejected.
Surprise! Rejected.
Yeah!
So Schettino's lawyers appealed again. And the verdict on the final appeal?
Rejected!
Schettino made multiple attempts to secure a plea deal, but was denied by the prosecution each time. The prosecution called for Schettino to be sentenced to 26 years in prison, calling the incident a Titanic affair.
Oh, okay, I see what you did there.
Schettino was not present. His lawyers stated that he was waiting outside of the jail for the ruling, so that if his plea was rejected, he could immediately start serving his sentence. And with that, 5 years and 4 months after the disaster, he was finally in a cell.
5 years and 4 months after. Lord of mercy.
I will not be making any comment.
Oh.
The salvage operation was enormous. It took over 2 years and cost an estimated $1.2 billion.
Whoa.
Beginning in early 2012, they first spent 2 months pumping fuel from the ship's tanks. At the same time, they had to pump seawater in so that the balance wasn't affected and the ship didn't slide around. In early 2013, a platform was built under the ship to prevent it from falling further. Sponsons were then attached to the sides of the ship and cables attached to the underwater platform. The sponsons were then dragged underwater and opened up to allow the ocean to fill them. The ship.
That's so cool. Huh.
Could then roll over properly. By late 2013, the ship was upright once more.
Whoa!
The sponsons were then attached to the side of the ship to help keep it balanced. It now rested partially above water and crews could walk around safely. By July 2014, the water was removed from the sponsons and compressed air was pumped in to lift the ship. And she was ready to cruise again.
What?
This time to a port in Genoa. It was a 4-day towing journey to the docks where a 2-year process of dismantling and recycling would begin.
That's
That
cool.
same weekend of the towing, Scatino was busy. He was the guest of honor at a white party on an island in the Bay of Naples. He appeared on the front page of a local newspaper.
Did you have to
flanked
watch
by
it
two
go
of
by?
Italy's most eligible bachelorettes.
Oh, I was really hoping they would like tow it right in front of his face and he'd have to stare at it.
Anyway, so these are the things that I remember from the Costa Concordia. That sweet maiden of the sea. And as for you, little fella.
Oh my god, we know where the bell went.
Well, it's time to return you. From whence you came.
Do it! Sploosh!
6 quick things. 1. NordVPN, good product, check them out. Number
Nice.
2, there's a new video on the second channel. You probably didn't see it because it was temporarily restricted. Now it's not. Enjoy. 3.
Nice.
If you've never seen the second channel before, give it a go. It's a different type of content, but we put a lot of production into it. It's not just
Nice.
offcuts. 4. There are a couple secret channels as well, but I ain't telling you where they are. 5. No more
Whoa.
45-minute videos on the main channel. Back to 10 to 15 minutes and more of them. 6. There's a Q&A coming out next week on incognito mode. It's got a ton of detail that we had to cut for the sake of brevity and will no doubt feature a ton of corrections as well.
Ooh!
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you! Damn! Okay. Alright. This was very interesting to watch. It very much just kind of pissed me off in a sense of everything that went wrong. Personally, I get very heated over injustice and people being treated wrong. People not really owning up to their stuff that they do wrong, especially when it causes such horrible, horrible tragedies. So, this was a lot of really good information. It was an excellent video to watch. Please make sure that you check out the original. It's gonna be linked down below. If you liked my video, make sure that you like and subscribe so I can see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye!